Hi, everybody. Welcome back from post All-Star break. Hope you had a great 4 days off. Lenny and I were on Monday, so I guess we weren't quite had 4 days off, but 3 good days off. Hope everybody had a good time with family. If you bet anything, I hope you did well. But we're back at it today. We're going to have tons of free plays here at Docs Daily. Here every day, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. For Saturday, you can get old Detroit Lenny and Griffin at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Griffin's been off all week. Look at him. He looks like he's ready to go today, so he'll be in tomorrow.
I'm ready to roll, Craig.
With Lenny. Don't forget, we'll take care of a little housekeeping. Make sure you like and subscribe. Also, make sure if you haven't got in on the Docs Free 60, exclusive thing we offer here at Docs, you can get a free $60 to try us out. You can use that towards a week pass, say the $99 week sport pass, or if you just want to use it towards a day pass of $30, you can use it on any of the cappers here or any of the cappers over at Doc Sports. Make sure you use that, docsports.com/free60. I think the link's in the description as well, or just type that in. Also, don't forget about the premium plus here at YouTube. You can get on a month membership, $19.99. That gets you the Indian Cowboy level 1. If you get the level 2, you get Indian Cowboy thrown in there, $49.99 a month, and you get 3 expert plays from some of our guys here or anybody. I do the video every day, but I just pick out 3 guys' plays that I like for the day, and you get them. So that's a $2,700 value. Make sure you get on it. I'm going to put the link here in the chat as well, or you can just click the link in the description. So make sure you get in on it. All right, guys, let's go around the horn, say how everything's been going and what they have for today. Nick, I do think you're first. You had, I have a 6-unit prop. I think you have a big prop today too, right? Tell them everybody
we have a
about
prop.
it.
Yep, it's going off in about an hour here. It's the first game. It's between the Chicago Cubs and the Boston Red Sox there. So I got a 2-pack. That includes that 6-unit prop in that one. And as well, we got a big UFC weekend. We had a massive weekend last week. We hit a 7-unit plus 130 with Matthews there coming right back. We got UFC 318 this week, and I'm jacked up. We'll have another 3-pack card. In baseball, we got off to a hot start, and then the All-Star break looking to continue that little winning streak here. We're on a 3-0 winning streak, looking to make it 4-0 today. That game also starts at 2:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Craig.
Think about that. It's 318 here at UFC. At what point do they say they're like, we got to call it something different? It can't be like UFC, like 2011 UFC. At some point, they're going to have to restart the numbers or something here. Let's go to Griffin. We'll finish with Robert because Robert has kind of like the keys to the kingdom back there. He knows everybody's plays as far as who has not played today. So we'll talk about that as well. Griffin, what do you have big for today, if anything?
Nothing big today, Craig. I don't see a point in entering right off the All-Star break and kind of just gunning it down. As of during last week and the week prior, I mean, we got absolutely red hot 5-1 in my last 6 prop plays. UFC, we swept in Nashville for 3-0 sweep plus 1840. Currently, CFL hit my 8-unit game of the year last week. That game actually got postponed into Saturday morning, which also benefited as well. Ended up winning that game in a 24-10 final. Had Calgary. WNBA 7-1 in my last 8 selections. And then MLB went into the All-Star break on a 2-0 run for plus $800. I mean, we've been absolutely smacking down across all plays. Today, very, very low volume. I do have same game action on the MLB Diamond. I have a 4-unit and a 2-unit, a side and a total, as well as I'm back on the prop action. I have a soccer play and as well as CFL 4-unit best bet, but huge Nashville card, huge UFC card coming out this weekend. So more than excited, as Nick just mentioned on, we have a very exciting event coming off a 3-0 sweep. So ready to get locked back in on the cage. It is Friday. So we've got a massive weekend ahead of us, Craig.
All right, don't forget, we also have a promo code. I didn't mention it. July 10. So JULYTEN. You got to spell it out. Get you 10% off. Use that. That's good for the rest of the month. So make sure you get in on that. Robert, and that can go on any of the plays if you want to use it. I think it's good for a week or a daily pass. Robert, what do you have for today? And I didn't see anybody have like a 7 or maybe a 7-unit today, but no 8 units, right?
Raphael with a 7-unit baseball play tonight.
At 10 o'clock, right?
He's heating up a little bit. He's won 5 straight in baseball for like plus 3,000. So he's going for number 6 in a row tonight with a 7-unit play. And then 2 CFL 7-unit plays, Croy and Shiva. Shiva's getting going a little bit. Like he's hit a few big plays recently. And he can be this is going to sound like a pejorative. It's not a pejorative, but he can be streaky. I mean that in a positive way. that like sometimes he'll just get hot for like 10 days and it's like whatever he posts wins. Like he'll go on these little bursts where it's just stupid. So, hopefully this is the beginning of one of those for him. So that's it. Nothing for me. There were 3 baseball games that I released today. I really liked all of them. Like I almost made all 3 of them like 4-unit plays, which is big for me. I play more games, smaller unit values. I really like the 3 games that I picked today. I will have a 7-unit play tomorrow. I just wrapped up my summer soccer as well. That was a success. Had another, winning summer soccer tournaments. And now it's time to turn the attention to football. So that's me.
So just so everybody knows, if you get the day pass, like for Robert, you'll get all 3 of his plays. So it doesn't matter if they're 7-unit, 4-unit, 2-unit, or 3 2-unit plays. You'll get, and that goes with any capper. If you buy either daily or week, you get, if they have more than one play, you get them all. So would you say you had 3? What were they? Yep. What unit plays?
I have a money line, run line in one that are 2 and 1. I have just a straight side that's a 3-unit play, and then I have a money line, run line that's 3-unit, 1-unit. And in the other one. So 10 units of play. Also, there is another promo code that was just released today. It's ANY10 and it's the number 10. So ANY10. That's good through Sunday, and that will get you 10% off any other Handicappers packages. So between the free 60 and the 10% off that we're giving you, you get a lot of free picks.
Don't forget, it's WNBA is off on All-Star break this weekend, but I believe they're back Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember which. I looked it up the other day, and I can't freaking remember.
I thought it was Wednesday. I thought
they are off. They are off this weekend for sure.
It was like 6 days that they were off. So.
In a bad break. If anybody watched it, Caitlin Clark goes down right at the end of that game, so she won't be in 3-point contest, which everybody was obviously looking forward to. Still some great shooters in that 3-point test. I think it's going to be fun to watch. I wish she was in it. That would have been some electric stuff. So, but they'll be back next week.
So predictable. In fact, we did predict that right here on this very show. I said she's going to have a sophomore slump. It's going to happen. Yeah. They're not going to be as good this year. Like it happens in every sport. Like the sophomore slump is a real thing. I don't want people to act like it's not a real thing, or some numbers guy I had. Well, that doesn't exist. Like the hot hand fallacy. Like get out of here with that. Like this happens to a lot of great players in a lot of great sports, and it's gone on for a very, very long time. So it's not surprising that Caitlin Clark's second year is just not going well.
Let's hope that doesn't happen for Caleb Williams there, Robert.
Was he that good in year 1 that he can slump down from?
He was pretty good. What did he have? 4 picks? His touchdown to pick ratio is very good.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. No, he's just going to keep going. He's just going to keep
Let's hope that theory does not work just on our Bears.
Hey,
but it's going to for some of those guys. Like, what was there? 6 rookie starters last year, 7 rookie starters in the NFL. Everyone is going into, like, as I'm doing my NFL prep, all the expectations for all these guys is that, like, oh, Drake May, he was great last year. He's going to be good again this year. Denver with Bo Nix, he was so good last year. He's just going to keep going up. 3 of these guys are going to have terrible years. One of them's going to get hurt, and 2 of them are going to have bad years. Okay, I can't tell you which ones. I don't know which ones yet. But what is it? It's July 18th. Mark it down. Same thing like the Caitlin Clark thing. One of the guys, one of the rookie starters from last year is going to get injured some point early in the season and knocked out for the year. 2 of the guys are going to suck this year. That's it. That's what's going to happen.
Well, I think Drake may be scared at that quarterback.
Jaden Daniels is the one that probably has the greatest, because he had his season was ridiculous. If he even put up a third or 2/3 of those numbers, he'd have a great season. So he would be the guy that I got to think comes down to earth a little bit.
He was their leading rusher last year. So, again, if you want to talk about a guy who is a good candidate to get injured, if he takes off running as much this year as he did last year, then – and you look at Washington's kind of histories with young quarterbacks, stuff like that. Like he's got a little RG3 written all over him, maybe.
Yeah, it will be interesting what happens with all these young quarterbacks, because not just the rookies. There's a lot of still young quarterbacks in the league out there. So could be some big years and it could be some regression years. So we'll be talking more NFL. Lenny and I talked about it probably starting here in the next 2 weeks as the training camps start opening. We'll be talking more about future odds and that kind of stuff. And we're already started covering at the channel. So if you haven't checked it out, I know Scott, I know Robert did, right, with Strike Point Sports.
Yep, me and Strike Point Sports did some. And then last Friday, we broke down, Raphael and I broke down all the AFC divisional odds today at 2:00 on what are the odds. We're going to break down the 4 NFC division and go over some divisional odds there as well.
And Scott, and I think maybe even Tony George, I think maybe release one, or it's coming out here soon. So make sure if you haven't done so, like and subscribe to the channel. You'll get all that content for free. And then, of course, you can check us out every day as we talk about more stuff. All right, let's talk a little baseball here. It's back. I always say the last day or two before the All-Star game is like D-Day. Is like you never know. Like weird stuff happens. Same thing with the first 2 days. Griffin, let's start with you. Go counterclockwise here. Is there any worrisome? There's some big favorites out here. Is there anything that you worry about today or that you like that you're kind of anti-public play here?
I mean, yeah, I mean, this play in particular that I'm about to break down, but yeah, I mean, you have to be very careful after the All-Star break. Obviously, all of these players, I mean, 95% of them have been off, 5% of them have been traveling, been in the home run derby and the All-Star game. So it's kind of a full-blown reset. So you kind of want to look for dog prices these first series, and that's exactly where I'm at with this one. And I have a good one. We've got the Athletics rolling into Cleveland to play the Guardians. JP Sears gets to start for the Athletics. He's got solid numbers, a 7-7 record. He's been consistent, and that's most importantly. He has a higher 4.79 ERA, which is high, but he's been consistent all season long at that basis. 97.2 innings of work, a 1.25 whip, which isn't bad. Very good strikeout to walk diversification with 79 Ks and just 24 walks. And then Slade Ciccone gets to start for Cleveland here. He's got very deceiving numbers. He actually pitches a lot better on the road than he does at home. They're in Cleveland tonight. Cleveland's 20-23 at home this season. Ciccone's got a 4-4 deceiving record with a 3.44 ERA on the season, which is very good. 56 strikeouts and 17 walks. The problem with this guy is currently this season at home, he's got a 4.95 ERA and an 0-2 record. He's been getting banged up. The Athletics, on top of that, they're a better offensive team. They're 17th in baseball, averaging 4.3 runs per game. They're better in team batting average, better on base percentage, way better in home runs, but that's because they're at Sutter Health Park. But Cleveland, on the other hand, they're nearly dead last in the category of offensive runs, offense across almost every single metric. So in this matchup, I'm going with the better arm and the plus value team, and that's the Athletics. I also believe this is going to be a one-sided game in the Athletics' favor here. So I drill that under as well. I believe the Athletics take this one-sided. So I'm taking them plus money as well as under that total at 8.5 in this one.
Got a little prop in that game. Got a little prop in that game as well. Like Griff said, JP Sears over 3.5 strikeouts. I love that one. Mm-hmm. I think Cleveland absolutely gets torn up by JP Sears on the road.
Yeah, the perception was last year Cleveland won all those close games. And so a lot of people thought, oh, that's a pretty good team. They're going to be pretty good this year, kind of like the same roster. They've kind of not been as good at those close games this year. It's kind of like, wasn't the Minnesota Vikings? It was like 2 years ago, they won every game by one score. And then last year they kind of regressed where they did, you should probably win about half of them or around there. So it's kind of like Cleveland's maybe feeling that a little bit. And it's so crowded in the AL wildcard race. I mean, I just don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what Cleveland's going to do. I know what, and we got to call them Athletics because you can't call them Oakland or Sacramento. Interesting. There's some guys on the Athletics, though, that I think are tradable assets that people would want. Don't you think, Griffin?
On the Athletics team, valuable assets. I mean, yeah, but the problem is with this team is they're young and upcoming. I wouldn't get rid of any of these guys. The majority of their entire team are all youngsters. I mean, they've got a couple big names like Luis Cervino, which we talked about briefly last week. And right now, if I'm the Athletics, I'm letting this team build. You've got Rooker in that lineup. He was just in the home run derby. Very good ball player. They've got a lot of young prospects. And right now, I just don't think this is a time to sell or buy if I'm the Athletics. They have a solid pitching rotation. I mean, you've got JP Sears, you've got Cervino. There's a couple other guys in that rotation where all springs, they're all consistent. None of them are overpowering, but none of them are bad. And entering next season during this type of situation, this is where you kind of start dumping guys off and start building around your prime players. Because right now, I believe this Athletics team is starting to find out who their most valuable players are in that offensive lineup. There's a couple guys in there that are absolutely sluggers. So right now, if I'm the Athletics, I'm sitting down, I'm sitting on my hands, and I'm waiting. I'm letting me find out who our stars are, who we can build around on, like Rooker. There's that other guy, Butler, he's very good. So right now, in my situation, I wouldn't dump any of these guys off. But to answer Jack's question, can Verlander finally get a win? Absolutely not. Even if he does get a win today, do not try to time this guy. I want to say he's like 0-7 on the season, 0-6 on the season. He's just falling apart. He's expired. His numbers are outdated, and he's getting lit up every single game. His last outing, I won against him, and he got absolutely clobbered. So, Jack, fade Verlander anytime he's on the rubber. Let this guy pick up he's at an 0-7 record with a 4.70 ERA, and he's going against Bassett tonight. Bassett at home is by far more dominant than he is on the road, and he's got that 4.12 ERA on the season. Dial that in at home. It's under a 3. So Bassett's very good. I would not back the Giants. They have no offensive output. Stay away from that guy right now and let him readdress. Let's see if this guy can pick up a couple wins before you start backing him, especially he's got a terrible offense behind him. So no, Jack, do not try to time Justin Verlander. Go ahead, Craig. Sorry, I wanted to answer.
Verlander's his strikeouts have started to come back up a little bit, but he hasn't been pitching deep in games. That's a decent San Francisco bullpen, but they're not at the pitching confines, where it's friendly in San Francisco. So it's like if you're not doing well in numbers and you pitch at San Francisco, you're probably not a great pitcher right now, because let's be honest, that is one of the best pitcher ballparks. Toronto would not be considered a pitcher ballpark. So I'm always worried because now these guys are on, like, instead of 5 or 6 days rest, Robert, they're on like 8 or 9. Does that have any effect on your handicapping?
I mean, it's pitcher specific. Like, Baseball Reference is great about this, is that if you go into guys' splits historically, you can see who does better, who does worse on extra rest. You have to think that it's going to help somebody like Justin Verlander, who's older, and he wasn't any good last year either. Yeah. So like he's just not that guy anymore. Like he's making a lot of money, so I can't sit here and say, oh, he should just retire. Like, no, you do you, Jot. Like, go make your money. But for us betting on him, he's still being priced like a name, but he's not that guy anymore. He stunk last year. He's not that good this year. And when it happens with older players, it happens suddenly with older guys. Like, there isn't usually this slow and steady decline. Like, you fall off a cliff. He's kind of falling off a cliff. So he's not
Scherzer, right? But they're both that kind of that.
Scherzer had a really good outing. He did. He had a really good
but
outing.
if you look at what he's done this year, they're both making a ridiculous sum of money for what they're producing this year, and they missed a lot of games usually, obviously, in their career. What do you like as a free play, Robert?
Okay, today, just gonna be stubborn, man. I'm just gonna be stubborn, and I'm gonna take the Braves today. I just am refusing to believe that they're as bad as they've played. I got this earlier. I actually released it earlier when it was -110. Now it looks like the Yankees are going with a bullpen game. So it's up to -130, -135. Still, for my money, a really good price on Spencer Strider, a guy that can go out and really take control of this game for Atlanta. And, we're past the All-Star break now, and we have the trade deadline coming up. That's going to be the next big moving piece as things settle. But it gets nicer from a handicapping perspective because, like, motivation level, we don't have to handicap motivation level as much. Now as we get into like game 110, 120, 130, everybody's pretty focused, right? So the Atlanta Braves have to be pretty focused coming out of the All-Star break. Like, this is it. Like, they gotta put a run together, man. They're in 4th place in the East. They probably dug too big of a hole to make it into playoff contention, but I'm going to be surprised if they don't at least make a run at it. There's just too much talent on that team. They've been very good against the Yankees historically. Maybe some of that good juju from the All-Star game being here in Atlanta can kind of spill over them. And don't forget, New York had a nice little burst there at the end of the first half, right before the break. But for the last month or so, they have not been good. They've been a bad baseball team. They're 11-18 in their last 29 game. As I mentioned, they're going with a bullpen here. Not a great look there coming out of the All-Star game. Like, I don't understand this at all. Like, you don't have healthy, rested starters after just having the week off. Like what are we doing here? So I'm looking for the Braves to come out sharp.
Yeah, go ahead, Griffin, here. But the Braves are one of those teams, before I get to Griffin, that they got to do something here. The trade deadline is July 31st, so that's 2 weeks from yesterday. I think they have to show something for them to go add. I don't think they'll be a big seller team, but I think they got to do a little something to just give the front office something.
I just like, they might shuffle some deck chairs, but the Braves over the last 4 years, Anthopoulos is probably for my money, he might be the best general manager in baseball. I think he's just been phenomenal for them. They're not going to sell anybody because everybody that they have is talented and on very team-friendly deals. So, there's not a ton of places where they can look to bolster up. You could say, well, go out and get a pitcher. Go out and get a pitcher. Look at the last few off seasons. While they've had this World Series window open, they refuse to do that. They're not going to pay top of the market price for pitching help. They're not going to gut their farm system to go out and get a big arm, something like that. They just refuse to do it, to the point where it's like weird that they haven't gone out and gotten that one big arm that could have maybe gotten them back to the World Series. So I'll be surprised if they do something big.
How about Max Fried could be their, could be a top rotation.
Yeah, right. So, Yankees can't get rid of him. He's the only thing propping up the Yankees right now.
He's all that's left. Griffin, what you got there?
Well, I was going to bring up a conversation of topic that nobody seems to really be talking about. I will for the hell of it. I don't know if anybody's noticed this, but has anybody noticed that offense has been much more important in baseball than pitching as of recent? All of the best teams in baseball right now are much better offensive teams than they are actually pitching wise. I mean, if you go down the boards right now, the Yankees, they're in second place. They have really no starting rotation. Clark Schmidt. I mean, you can go down the list with these guys. There's nobody really that dominant. Detroit, all they have is Tarek Skubal. Reese Olson has not been good. I mean, their rotation hasn't been great. You go to Houston, they're all offensive lineup. They don't really have a great pitching rotation. They're leading the West, AL West. You go down these lines, and this is something that nobody's really been talking about, and it's something that definitely caught my attention. Offense has been beating defense in baseball a lot more this year than it typically does. Usually when you have that starting rotation, you're usually the most dominant team in every single division. That doesn't seem to be the case. I mean, for the Chicago Cubs even, Shada Imanaga, that's their best pitcher, but behind him, they really have no starting rotation. They're 57-39, leading with a plus 119 differential in runs. Dodgers, I mean, they don't have the greatest pitching rotation. They're up 6 games in the West. Has anybody else noticed this? Is this something that only I've caught attention to? Am I crazy? This is something that I caught up on and I wanted to talk about, and I don't know if anybody else has caught it.
2014, Griffin, right around 2014. If you're not going to, well, like, why would you? But going back to some of my MLB previews from right around that time, this is when the Mets were built around like Matt Harvey, Noah Syndergaard, Jacob deGrom, like big time young arms, and everyone, all the Mets fans were excited. But just back that long ago is when I started to tell people this. I was like, baseball is completely upside down right now. Like, the whole idea that you pay for pitching is such an antiquated idea from like the late 90s, early 2000s. Why? Because the hitters were monsters and you needed to pay those guys like Clemens and Pedro and Randy Johnson and stuff like that because they could get people out. You need people that could get people out consistently. For over 10 years, that has not been the way that Major League Baseball is structured. Now nobody can hit. Everybody sucks. The idea of going out and paying like $30, $40, $45 million for a pitcher is insane to me. Like, if you have a guy that can hit over 275, that's the guy that you go out and you give $30 million a year, because nobody can hit. It's been like that for a very, very long time. But still, when you hear people talk about baseball, to your point, Griffin, where do they go first? The rotation, the pitchers, who do they have? That doesn't matter even a little bit. Like, the 4 of us, I feel like, could throw solid innings in Major League Baseball right now. Okay, well, when the league average is like 240 for a hitter. Like, everyone sucks. Don't pay for pitching. You need hitters. Hitters are gold right now. And anybody that isn't just trying to load up their lineup with the best hitters possible is completely doing it wrong. I don't want to hear about like, oh, it'll be different in the playoffs. Like maybe a little bit, like your relief pitching matters, right? You can't have a sieve in the bullpen. You need a reliable closer, but no, it's guys that can hit.
Well, I think the numbers produce this. The best team in baseball tied. There's 3 teams batting 258. That's the Blue Jays, Astros, and Rays, believe it or not. Red Sox and Yankees are batting 256, which is crazy. 258 is the leader. Right now, the ERA average, guess who it is? It's the Texas Rangers, not even 500, right? Mm-hmm. Kansas City Royals, 3.28. Royals, 3.49. Giants, 3.5. Mets are the best pitching team, I think, 3.56, and they have a little more hitting than those other teams. So, I mean, there's not a whole lot. And right now, Nick will bring you in on this. You're the baseball guy that played in college. guys don't hit for average anymore. It's like powers and walks. Yeah, it's like they're either trying to hit home runs or get walks, and guys don't go past 5 innings pitching. So it's really a different baseball, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, guys definitely don't want to, hit for doubles anymore. They want to see the ball go over the fence. And I think that's a huge thing in baseball the last 10 years. Even scouts, they're not looking for those grimy guys that get on base, that draw walks. They're looking for guys to hit the long ball. And that's just what baseball has evolved to. It's a shame because obviously smaller guys like me, we don't hit a lot of home runs, right? We get on, we steal bases, and we do the dirty work, so to speak. We lay down bunts. How many bunts have we seen this year, really, in baseball? You don't see it anymore. You really don't. So just the change in baseball has just come a long way. You got to hit the long ball now.
What do you like? The rules also have changed the game. Obviously, we got the pitch clock, which I was against, but I do like that one. We got the new, extra inning rule. Don't like that one. And then we've got the new rule where, the shift. I think that's definitely helped a little bit because it was tough watching baseball when the whole one side of the infield was open and guys wouldn't even bunt that way when you could bunt and walk to first. So what do you think about the new rule changes? How does that affect the game now, Nick, that we've seen it for a little longer than a year now?
I like it. I like the pitch clock just because it speeds up the game. But just going back to it, just the whole game has evolved into, you want to pay and you want to have fans come out and watch. They're not going to watch you bunt the baseball. They're going to watch Vladdy go up there and hit a bomb. They want to see Judge go up there and hit a bomb. So I think they're adapting to the way the fans want to see baseball, and just the game of baseball has just adapted. And I think it's good that there is a pitch clock. It speeds up the game. That's a positive. We'll see about the All-Star game when they tap their helmet, the review call. I love that. I think this should be, because the hitters are going to be the ones that know if it's a strike or a ball. You saw it in the All-Star game, that shortstop for the Athletics, I forget his name, taps his helmet, it was a ball. So things like that to improve the game, I think is going to be good for baseball. But again, you just got to hit the long ball to, get to that spot and get to the major leagues. So it's changing. We're changing and we're adapting.
How about the new rule this year? I think it's the first year for this one that you can only throw over to first so many times. I thought that was going to make stolen bases go way up. Mm-hmm. It really has not. Like, the numbers aren't way up. Is that something you think as the year progresses we're going to see? Because I know all you're going to do is make the guy throw over once, then you can just steal the second time.
100%. And if you saw the draft too, how many shortstops came from that first round in that draft? What they're doing, they're trying to get runners in motion. They're trying to get stolen bases on their team. It's going to be effective because of that exact reason you said. You could only throw over one time and then you got to go. You got to go. So they're adapting to the new rules and they're going to try to capitalize on it.
I'm surprised more teams don't go, Robert, to like the small ball type that we've seen teams do, but no one really kind of has made that move yet.
Right. We talk about this in the NBA, right? That we're seeing a little bit of a shift back to size because everybody went small there. Everybody's small, skinny 3-point shooters. And now you're seeing some teams be like, wait a minute, we can just beat people up on the inside. I think eventually there'll be a shift back to that. But two things. Number one is that people are trying to hit more home runs. It's the 3 true outcomes mentality, right? Like strikeout, walk, or home run. That's it. But right now, I'm looking at the numbers. The Yankees lead baseball in home runs at 151. Okay, the Dodgers 145, Cubs 142. Those are the only 3 teams, and I don't even know if the Cubs are, that are on pace to have more home runs than the leaders in 2004. In 2004, 2 teams hit 251 home runs for the season that year. That was a team lead. Okay. And maybe 2 teams are going to pass that this year. So they're trying to do it more, but they're not doing it more. I think that baseball needs to get drastic. And I don't even think this is drastic. I like that they've incorporated new rules. They need to lower the mound, period. End of sentence. They need to lower the mound. They did it back in the 60s. So this is not some unprecedented thing. The pitchers are too good. It's not even that the hitters have somehow gotten worse. Pitching right now is stupid. It is so ridiculous that all these guys are up near triple digits, making the ball do crazy spin. The pitching is at a level that we have never, ever seen in baseball right now. So when I'm sitting here saying everybody sucks, nobody can hit, it's I'm saying that kind of tongue in cheek. I'm sure the hitters are just as good, right? But with pitching the way that it is now and just how many guys do it. Like, guys are getting brought out of the bullpen throwing 101 with movement. Like, it's impossible. Like, if you want to give the pitchers a chance, you need to lower them out. They did it before in the 60s when pitchers were dominating. Do it now with the hitters and kind of like find that balance of making this a fair fight. Because right now it's just not a fair fight.
I thought the pitch count and then making relievers face X amount of batters, I thought that would help the hitters, because you don't bail out a guy would come in, pitch one guy, come right back out. They were going lefty, righty at the end of the games. Now you can't do that as much. It really hasn't mattered. The pitchers are just, like you said, they've been dominating this year. And for the last, like you said, the trend's going back now 5 or 6 years. I think that's a lot. If Ellie De Cruz went up there and said, hey, I'm going to hit the ball on the ground all the time instead of trying to hit home runs, the guy would hit over 300. But he knows I'm going to get paid a lot more if I get a less average and more home runs.
But it's weird with baseball. Like, baseball was always one of those sports that I felt like you could compare players across eras, right? Yeah. Like, guys from the late 70s, early 80s against guys in the 2000s. Like, you did have a real apples to apples. We're at a point now where in this decade, in the 2020s, it's a completely different game. Like, you can give me guys like Tony Gwynn, John Olerud, Wade Boggs, some of the best hitters I've ever seen, right? Like, those guys are hitting 250 against pitchers today. Like, that's just the way it is. Like, the amount of arms, the amount of arm talent and what they can do with the ball now compared to guys in the late 80s and early, it's not even the same sport. It is not even the same game. So they need to do something to find that balance. And I think the obvious one is, without like getting real quirky with a lot of different rules and stuff, just lower the mound. They've done it before. Like, do that and see what the results are.
There's this year, I think there's 9 guys batting 300 or more right now. There used to be a 300 hitter on every team. Like, every team would have one. You don't have that anymore. Let's get a free play for Nick. We're running up against the end of the time. Nick, what do you like as a free play?
Justin,
I'll do this real quick.
Question. Go ahead. My bad.
We'll talk about your Cincinnati Reds here, Craig. They come in the All-Star break 3 games above 500 here. You got Nick Lodolo back on the mound. He's been 500, 6-6 on the season. His ERA is over 3. Cincinnati 3.38 here on 106 innings pitched. He has 97 strikeouts, almost a strikeout here per inning. He's a southpaw here, and the Mets, I would say, don't swing it as well against lefties as they do against righties. And for the Mets, Sean Manaea is back on the mound here. He has 3.1 innings of work. And if you look at both of these statistics from an offensive standpoint here, they're very, very similar as a team. But one thing, their ERA rotation, the Mets, they have one of the best rotations here and bullpen arms in the league here. Take away the bullpen in this game. I love the plus value here with this Cincinnati Reds first 5 innings. Sean Manaea, 3.1 innings of work. I think the Reds put up a couple here, and we scratch off the win on the money line plus money value first 5 innings Reds.
Yeah, I like them both first 5 and the game. I just think the Mets, their offense improved a little before the break, but they're going to win with their pitching. That's just a fact. That team's bullpen is very good. I don't love their starting lineup, but they've performed this year. But I think they're a little overvalued in this spot, so I like that pick. I'm going to give a free play, and then we'll be wrapping it up here. Today is one of those days. We talked about it. I think you either short favorites or underdogs. That's where I think you need to be today. I think one of those short favorites that I like is the Seattle Mariners. I think Castillo is better than even his 3.42 ERA suggests. In Seattle, we've seen they've started to find some things on offense. Obviously, you get the home run derby leader. That always worries me, because after you do that, I'm sure he's partying it up there at the All-Star break. So maybe, that maybe not get help there. But I do like this Seattle team. I'm going to take away the bullpen. I'm going to take the first 5 innings Seattle here in this one. I think they get it done. I think a nice little starting pitching edge. And I think Houston, they had that run the last month and a half. I think maybe they're not quite as good at what that run is. So I think you're getting a little value here with the Seattle Mariners on a short price in the first 5 innings. So there we have it. Those are free plays. Don't forget, you get us every day, Monday through Saturday. Monday through Friday, it's 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Saturday, Griffin and Detroit Lenny are in at 11 a.m. And it's a little different show than what we do. It's a little more like, if you have a question on a game, they'll cover that game. So jump in the morning. If you have a game that you want to ask them about or just talk about, it's get in on there with Griffin and Detroit Lenny. All right. Don't forget, DocSports.com/free60. Get a free $60 account. Also get in on the Premium Plus. It's either $19.99 for a month for Indian Cowboy, or you get Indian Cowboy plus the 3 Premium Plus plays from us, Doc Sports experts. It's just $49.99 a month, and the link is in the description. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good luck.
What are the odds? 2 o'clock.
Time out.
What are the odds? 2 o'clock.
Time out. What are the odds in 23 minutes live? Same channel, same
There he
place.
is.
Also, 6
NFC?
o'clock.
NFC.
Quiet. You
Mr.
had
Odds.
27
Behind the
minutes.
curtain.
He's at 27. He's at 31 minutes. Hold on. And also 6 o'clock Eastern time, betting outside the box with your own Detroit Lenny. Captain Degenerate. It's Clapback 2025. I wasn't on this show, but I'm in the comments. Don't come at me. Throw stones. I throw them back. 6 o'clock Eastern, betting outside the box. Good luck unless you're against me.